Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Today's lesson is about writing a descriptive text on a chosen book. But before that, let your future teacher describe himself. My name is Khairuddin NIM 210502500026, and I am from class C. Okay, let's go to materials. So in table of content, we have a lot of activities to do, like explain the objectives and materials, explain definition of descriptive text, types of descriptive text, descriptive text structure, descriptive text language features, descriptive text example, practice session, discussion session, and Q&A session. So today I will explain the objective of this lesson. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to write a descriptive text that effectively describes a person, place, object, or event. To achieve this terminal objective, you will focus on three enabling objectives. The first one is to define what a descriptive text is. A descriptive text is a type of writing that uses sensory details to create a vivid picture in the reader's mind. It appeals to five senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. Its purpose is to help the readers visualize and understand the topic being described. The second enabling objective is to identify the key elements of a descriptive text. The key elements are the topic sentence, supporting details, and concluding sentence. The topic sentence introduces the topic and sets the tone for the rest of the text. The supporting details provide specific information about the topic, using sensory language to create a picture in the reader's mind. The concluding sentence summarizes the main ideas and leaves a lasting impression on the reader. The third enabling objective is to use descriptive language effectively. To do this, you need to choose your words carefully, using sensory language that paints a vivid picture in the reader's mind. You also need to organize your ideas in a logical and coherent way, using transition to connect your sentence and paragraphs. And the materials. The first materials is whiteboard and makers. The second is handouts with example of descriptive text. The third is writing prompts or topics for students to choose from, and the last is pens or pencils and paper for students to write on. So guys, do you know the definition of descriptive text? No? Oh, descriptive text is a type of writing that aims to describe a person, place, object, or event in great detail using sensory language and other literary devices to create a vivid mental image for the reader. The purpose of descriptive text is to transport the reader to subject being described and make them feel like they are experiencing it firsthand. So, before you create your descriptive text, you need to know the types of descriptive text. The first is narrative descriptive text. This type of descriptive text is used to describe a specific event or story It often includes vivid details and sensory information to make the reader feel like they are a part of the story. Expository descriptive text. This type of descriptive text is used to explain a concept, idea, or process. It often uses factual information and examples to help the reader understand the topic. Next is comparative descriptive text. This type of descriptive text is used to compare two or more things. It often includes similarities and differences between the objects being compared. The next is analytical descriptive text. This type of descriptive text is used to analyze and interpret a specific topic or subject. It often includes an in-depth examination of the topic and may include the author's own opinions and ideas. And the last is persuasive descriptive text. This type of descriptive text is used to persuade the reader to take a particular action or believe a specific point of view. It often uses emotional language and persuasive techniques to convince the reader. So guys, before you create your descriptive text, you should know the structure of descriptive text. The first one is introduction. The introduction should grab the reader's attention and provide a general overview of the subject that will be described in the text. It may also include a thesis statement that summarizes the main point of the text. The next is body paragraphs. The body of the text should provide a detailed description of the subject being described. Each paragraph should focus on a specific aspect of the subject and include sensory details, objectives, and figurative language to create a vivid image in the reader's mind. And the last is conclusion. The conclusion should summarize the main points of the text and leave a lasting impression on the reader. It may also include a final thought or call to action. So if you guys already know about the descriptive text structure, you should know about descriptive text figurative language. So the first one is sensory details. These are descriptive words and phrases that appeal to the five senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. Sensory details help the reader to imagine what it would be like to experience the thing being described. For example, the aroma of freshly baked bread wafted through the air. The author uses olfactory sensory details with the word aroma to help the reader imagine the smell of the bread being baked. By using sensory details, the reader can bring the reader closer to the experience described in his writing. The next is figurative language. This includes metaphors, similes, and personification. Figurative language is used to make comparison between things or to give human-like qualities to non-human things. For example, the leaves dance in the wind like ballerinas on the stage. The example given is a simile, which compares moving leaves to the movement of ballet dancer on the stage. Similes are made by using the word like or as to indirectly compare two different things. In this case, the leaves are compared to ballet dancers to give an image or gentle and elegant movements under the wine. And the next is adjectives. These are descriptive words. They are used to provide more information about a noun. Adjectives help to create a more detailed picture of the thing being described. For example, the soft, fluffy cat curled up on the warm, cozy blanket. The example sentence given, the soft, fluffy cat curled up on the warm, cozy blanket, uses several adjectives to describe the cat and the blanket. The adjectives soft and fluffy tell us how the cat feels when we hold it, while the adjectives warm and cozy describe the atmosphere of the blank. In other words, adjectives help us to form a clearer and more detailed picture of the object described in the sentence. So the next figurative language is emotive language. This is language that is used to create an emotional response in the reader. Emotive language can be used to convey the writer's feelings about the thing being described or to elicit a particular emotional response from the reader. For example, the stunning sunset left me feeling peaceful and content. The stunning sunset left me feeling peaceful and content uses emotional language to convey the writer's feeling about the sunset scenes. This sentence also aims to trigger a certain emotional response from the reader, which is a feeling or calmness and contentment as felt by the writer. And the last figurative language in descriptive text is repetition. This is the use of repeated words or phrases to create emphasis and draw attention to a particular aspect of the thing being described. For example, the waves crashed against the store again and again, a never-ending rhythm. The example is the use of repeated words or phrases to create emphasis and draw attention to a particular aspect of the thing being described. In the example, the phrase again and again is repeated to highlight the never-ending rhythm of the waves hitting the shore. This technique is known as repetition and can be used to strengthen the emotional or aesthetic effect of a piece of writing or speech. So we go to example of the descriptive text. The first one we have narrative descriptive text. Last summer, my family and I took a trip to the beach. We rented a cozy little cottage right on the ocean and spent our days lying in the sun and playing in the waves. One afternoon, we decided to go for a walk along the beach. As we strolled along the shoreline, we spotted a group of dolphins playing in the waves not far from shore. We stopped and watched in awe as they leaped and spun in the water, seeming to put on a show just for us. The sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the water. The dolphins continue to play as we walk back to our cottage, feeling grateful for the beautiful experience we had just witnessed. So the example is an example of narrative descriptive text that tell us the story of the writer and his family's experience while on vacation at the beach. This text contains narrative and descriptive elements. The narrative element can be seen from the plot of the story, which is the family's trip to stay at a small cottage by the sea, and the incident when they walked on the beach and saw dolphins playing in the water. Descriptive elements can be seen from the descriptions used in the text, such as descriptions on the place, the atmosphere of the beach, the behavior of the dolphins, and the state of the sky and sea water at sunset. In descriptive narrative text, the aim is to describe or illustrate an object, place, or event in a detailed and vivid way so that the reader can imagine and feel what is being told. The example above describes the atmosphere of the beach, the activity of going for a walk, and the experience of seeing dolphins in detail so that the reader can imagine the feel the same. So the second example is persuasive descriptive text. Have you ever considered the impact of plastic waste on our environment? Plastic is one of the most commonly used materials in the world, but it takes hundreds of years to decompose, leading to a growing problem of plastic population in our oceans and landfills. Every year, millions of tons of plastic waste end up in our oceans, harming marine life and disrupting fragile ecosystems. Plastic population has been linked to the deaths of sea turtles, whales, and other marine animals who mistake plastic bags and other debris for food. But the problem of plastic population is not just limited to our oceans. Landfills are also becoming overwhelmed with plastic waste, taking up valuable space and contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. So what we can do to address this pressing issue? One solution is to reduce our use of single-use plastics such as straws, water bottles, and plastic bags. We can also recycle and properly dispose of plastic waste to ensure it doesn't end up in our environment. By taking action to reduce our plastic footprint, we can make a real difference in protecting our planet and the creatures that call it home. Let's all do our part to create a cleaner, healthier future for a generation and come. So the example above is a persuasive descriptive text that aims to convince readers to take action to address the problem of plastic population in environment. The text provides descriptive details and examples of the impact of plastic waste on the environment, especially in oceans and landfills. It also explains the negative impact of plastic population on marine life and ecosystems, which can result in the death of turtles, whales, and other animals. The text urges readers to take action by offering solutions such as reducing the use of single-use plastics and recycling to address the problem of plastic population. It also emphasizes the importance of taking action to protect the environment and creatures that inhabit it for a cleaner and healthier future. Overall, this text combines descriptive language with persuasive arguments to inform readers about the problem of plastic population and encourage them to take action to address it. So guys, we move to practice session. Hello class, today we'll be working on writing a descriptive text. One of the most important steps in the writing process is organizing your ideas. Before you start writing your descriptive text, I do like you to create an outline or a rough draft to help you structure your ideas and make sure your text is coherent. To create an outline, start by writing down the main idea or thesis statement of your text. Then think about the different details you want to include to support your main idea. You can organize your ideas in bullet points or in a mind map. This will help you see the big picture of your text and make sure you don't forget any important details. Once you have your outline, it's time to start writing your descriptive text. You have about 10 minutes to complete your text. As you write, I'll be circulating the room to offer assistance and feedback. So, guys, if you need any help or have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. When you are finished writing your text, please raise your hand and I'll be come over to read it and over feedback. I'll be looking for a few key elements in your text such as sensory details, figurative language, and a clear thesis statement. I'll also be checking for grammar and spelling mistakes, so make sure to proofread your text before submitting it to me. Great job, class! I can see that you've worked hard on your text. Before we wrap up, I'd like to take a few minutes to review your work and make any final revisions or edits. Once you're happy with your text, please submit it to me. I'm looking forward to reading your descriptive text and seeing how you've used sensory language to create vivid image in the reader's mind. Keep up the great work! Okay, we move to question session. That's all from me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Good job, my students, for your hard work for today. See you next week with the new materials. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Goodbye.